First of all, I think what Embibe is doing is that it's redefining education technology and focusing on what technology can do better than the educators, right? So I was recently in Vietnam and giving a talk on the topic of the learning outcomes artificial intelligence stack, which is a completely new way to look at edtech. We're like, let's do away with peripheral solutions, which are, here is more digitized content, for your classroom, and let's focus on what the students want, what the teachers want, which is higher quality education, a pedagogy which is driven entirely through artificial intelligence that can supplement the supply of low quality teachers and can actually create teachers where there are no teachers available in India. So that's what we're doing. It's not content, this is personalization powered by artificial intelligence on a platform that can work for any educational context in the world. We have probably the best team in India, in terms of both data science and technology, but there are so many problems that we've defined that we want to solve that the next big step for us is to engage the world's intelligence in solving those problems. And so we stay up at night looking at, the open AI portfolio in the Valley, which is run by Elon Musk. How do we get some of this intelligence in? How do we get these researchers excited about what we're building? And that's some of the things that we're doing now. It's not a right or a wrong thing. It's about what you want to focus your money on as an entrepreneur, right? I don't think anybody really goes wrong because there's a market which is available for content digitization as well. And I think from a consumer standpoint, it is about the perception of what can exist. So for example, before Facebook came, you never knew Facebook was possible, right? So if somebody talked to you about Facebook, you wouldn't really understand it. So if consumers understand that it's actually possible for every child to improve no matter what their background, that is a market that is worth creating in my view. Because after a point, content on a tablet is content on a tablet. Our first market was the IIT and medical entrance exam. The reason we picked that up is it's the toughest market both in terms of time spent as well as in terms of, improving students because they're very tough exams, right? And also in terms of the quality and the type of content that you process at the back end. 4.5 years later, we've cracked the code on learning outcomes, which focuses on both deep knowledge interventions as well as improving behaviors of students, making them better test takers. This framework is now ready to scale. So the next 2 to 3 years is going to be about taking this framework to every education market in the country, right from post-college exams to K-12, and actually focusing on, leveraging this technology to help a student improve all the way through. I'd like to add one more thing in terms of the disruption that's being created by Embibe. There are a lot of things you can do with technology. For example, in a hospital, you could build a photocopier or you could build the MRI machine. The difference between the two is you could do without a photocopier, you can't do without the MRI machine because that's mainstream to diagnosis. Today, technology is not mainstream to education, it's an add-on. The only way it becomes mainstream is if it is harnessed to do something which the naked eye cannot do, right? And the harnessing of that technology yields disproportionate results for everybody involved because MRIs save lives. So Embibe is building the learning continuum that connects every grade. And I'll give you some fun facts, okay? 1,000 concepts in chemistry in 12th grade come directly from the 8th grade. So if you've not fixed the 8th grade, you're not going to do well in the 12th grade. But if you've not done it right, do you have an option to go back and fix exactly what is needed? You don't, right? So that is something that Embibe has built, which is super unique. A taxonomy of about 40,000 concepts, which connects subjects to each other and grades to each other and put the power of improvement in the hands of the consumer. So these are just some of the innovations that are being built, but harnessing technology for what technology can do better and not just sort of becoming yet another content dissemination platform.